Thank you for your joining my session. Yeah, especially this over there. So there are really lots of this good session, RM, and then somebody, the expert to ask to the expert or something like this question. I think is a really good session. But even though to join in here, thank you for your being in here. And also I said I cannot be guaranteed, but I could try to my best, and then you're gonna be the regular to stay in here. And also, my session is that this also include, I don't know, I'm gonna burst that after this session, I'm gonna be some demo. You can be bring the demo to the, you deploy your some Rive cluster, and then you can be some testing this after this session, So that's really practical, and then you can be share with this your guys and juniors and some of the others, because it's for the novice. Even though it's just a novice session, is this something new and something is very good insight I thought, so you can be able to bring it. Plus, you know that this day, and also you can see that this keynote is all of them say, I think that I really like it as AI too, but all of them say the AI, so I'm gonna say the AI too. Some short demo is not demo, some clip is over there. Even though I think AI is good, AI is everywhere, AI is really, really good. But I think AI need to human-oriented AI, I prefer that. So I'm gonna say it such as that later. Yes, just for a few minutes later, I'm gonna talk. I said that this is for the novice, so you can see that the right part. Right part is this code, YAML code. You may familiar to this code because it's Kubernetes code. Is this some of the policy we gonna deploy by the code is called as policy as a code. So I'm gonna really explain this sort of that is later. Before starting, I think introduced by myself is better. So here is this who I am. So you can see that this is my t-shirts, and left top, you can see that the ambassador logo. I'm the ambassador, CNCF ambassador. And if you are interested in the CNCF ambassador, I think it is kind of sort of advertising, but if you are, one of them or one of sort of that, you can be applied until end of the June. Yes, you can be applied it. Really welcome, and there are really good party and really good we gonna with each other. And also, if you are Kubernetes and others, you can be see that this Kubernetes logo is the bottom of the right side. You can be easy to get a Kubernetes certification. I thought, get us some certification. The jacket, over there you can see that the jacket is really cool and such as a good quality. I thought this is just for one of the some souvenirs or some swag thing, but its quality is much better than I thought. So you can really get it. And also I'm gonna really just few that's activity that the top side is I'm gonna several some program committer or some of the organization, and the second side is I'm gonna be the speech or some sort of the talk for the other Cubicans, some EU, NA, and then last year's China, and first India. The first cubicle in Japan, I do not some accept it, but anyhow, that's sort of that. I'm gonna be speaking. That's who I am. We're gonna be jumping into the pack. That's because the main topic is the pack. So as a code, policy as a code. And someone know about this policy as a code, infrastructure code, but as I said, it's a novice course. So we need to know about this, why we use or why is someone used that this code. Because code, normally I'm describing that some of the sentence, some of the thing is by picture or some icon or such as that easy to understand, easy to describe. But policy as a code, there's really lots of some beneficial thing for us or for engineer, developer, and else. So that's the reason why I'm going to use the table. So there is really lots of them. But mainly, when we use the policy as a code, there is avoid to the human. You know that the human, we're going to be the fat finger. Not stock market say the fat finger. We're going to be the typo issue. Just one typo issue has really messed up your system. The policy as a code or as a code, it can be avoided totally. And if you have some issue or if you have some problem, or if you make it some same infrastructures, it can easily make it or easily reproduces those kinds of infrastructure. I'm a little bit embarrassing to the exposure of my experience that someone know about this Vagrant. Is this one of my first impressions for the infrastructure code as a code? Vagrant, yeah, Vagrant is a really long version of these days, this infrastructure code. But it's one of my first impression for the as a code. If you're using the Vagrant up, or if you're similar to the Terraform ops, there are easy to make it some your environment. Very quick and easy and same way. So it's very surprising and I'm really impressed about this as a code. After that, I'm going to use the Ansible and then Vagrant and others. Actually, we are the KubeCon and Cloud Native Con. KubeCon is based on this all of things is some code. We're going to be use the kube control, but kube control is a binary code. It's sent to some code and then it can work on some API server. So API server and made this code, and the code is everywhere these days, API and API set. And it is not only the policy as code. I'm already saying that infrastructure code and the other code existed everywhere. So everywhere, everything is code and these days. Yeah, you can see that the policy is code, configure as a code, and security as a code. Security as a code actually the power of the policies and compliance and blah, 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 blah. Even disaster recovery is as a code. And first, I said this, the AI trend, or these days, all of us know about this. These days, the AI is the era. So I'm going to be the question to you all guys and here's. Anybody doesn't have an experience to the generation code by some QN or some OpenAI, something like that? Please raise your hand. Nobody used that. No one have an experience to the generation code. Yep. Oh, really? Yes. Yeah, he's kidding that. In my guess, you know that before starting the session, I'm gonna simulation. I have no script in here. I just simulations my streamline or storyline. So nobody's reason. Yes. I'm gonna just jump into your session say like that. Okay. Yes. I think anybody's these days everyone used that the generation code, and generation code is really easy to make it a code like this. So is this using the QN? I request to some validation code. Yes, there are just for only the 15 minutes to make it some super cool code. Yes, so we're gonna be use those code, and then you already seen that many of the session and keynote. There are really lots of the AI demo, AI something, AI agent, K agent, blah blah blah. Yeah, super cool, super good. But the issue, I don't want to say that the problem, just little issue is that here, human, we can use that as a copy and paste it. We can use that, oh yeah, working good. Yeah, everything is really perfect. And the other is that after deployed it, something problem or something we have to be modified it. And these days, one of the trend is vibe code. You know the vibe code. Yes, we can be blah, 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 and Berber and paste it, Berber, paste it. After that, we have to be modified. We have to be used that. We have to be understanding. But the problem is that generation code after analysis, we don't know that. We can use that. We can modify it. We just follow to the AI. So if we're the AI to AI, it's okay. But AI to the human have to know about this. In my personal view, that the AI is not AI. So IT is going to be to the easier and easier. It's a really long time ago. Mainframe, Unix, yes, too much, long time ago. But anyways, those kinds of trend, it make it some new job, which it is some Mingo technology. Mingo have to be handling some work. That the DevOps, it can be consumed at the operation part, and SRE cover to the DBA part. And then some of the infrastructure part, it's gonna be the Mingo because the easier. So AI can be have the easier the infrastructure and then the other security policy as a code. But even though we have to know about how is it work. Yeah. So there is a little problem. But the policy as a code these days one of the big trend or big good language support that, so it can be very easy to learn. They're easy to learn this policy as a code, security as a code. So that is that we can learn that. So we can learn the something to do. Just in my personal opinion, that we know about this past thing. Past. Admission controls like this, it released that 2019 is almost 5 years ago. 5 years ago is a really long time for the Kubernetes perspective too. Yeah, it was looks like it's an API request and then through this streamline. And first, first is the API blah, blah, blah. But second is that the authentication and isolation by, is one of the representative project is a quick lock. And next is that there is admission, some validation and mutation is one of the representative project is that OPA gatekeeper, and there is some maintainers over there, and Kubernetes, hello, Kubernetes focus on that. Yeah, Kubernetes maintainers over there, yes. Someone is watching through that YouTube, but you don't know that here is the Kubernetes maintainer here. Yeah, so such as that some project is that supporting to the validation and then made mutations, some admission control that it was there, yes. But time goes by, or you may know that this from the that Kubernetes version suddenly remove that Docker, and then there are change to the directly the container, container D. So at this moment, it's really messed up, and then the problem is that the people are very confusing and community lazy. Yeah, there is really less of a problem, but currently you know that it is really transparent, it is communication each other, and very easy to, or more high performance or more or such like that. So you can see that this streamline, the something is can be changed is better. Here's the part. The web part, you may notice what I mean, what I left there because there's some maintainer in here. Yeah, so webhook, if you had to remove the webhook, maybe if you like it's more better to the streamline. Yeah, you can see that this without webhook, probably it's gonna be better. Removed here. Yes, Kubernetes. Yeah, Kubernetes, you know, we're gonna be able to more some beneficial thing, more high performance things. We can be sometimes we are remove that code for the best performance, best practice things. So there's some another API is coming. Yes, here is that mutating admission policy and then validating admission policy is embedded for the Kubernetes API. So yeah, but even though that it is very important to project to API gateway and Kubernetes, yeah, without the Kubernetes, without this API gatekeeper, yeah, you can use that this validation. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm rep, yes, maintainer here. Validations, admission, and then mutating admission is possible. It's perfectly work without those projects. Yes, yeah. Anyhow, the OPA gatekeeper and then Kubernetes doesn't necessarily at all. I mean that this Kubernetes go to another way. There are some another policy. Deleting policy is very important, I think. And immediate validation policy, such as that another part they are focused on. So it's a very important movement. Anyhow, this currently mutating and validating, you don't need it another project. Another project means that you can build it more resource and you have to build the installation and then consuming the time. So you don't need it. Just using the API gateway, it can be covered that by cell. Because you know that the YAML is, there is no any kinds of some conditional things. There is no any kinds of configuration or make it some Boolean result. But cell make it some Boolean result, yes or not, or okay or not, go or stop. So it means that we know about cell, but as I said at this Novice session as well, so cell is really simple and easy to work. And I think you don't need to know about the cell. Just for know about the YAML spec, that's enough to use the cell after this session. I'm guaranteed that. Yeah, I can say that I guarantee that. So anyhow, before to move at the current station or present time, someone may be wondering, or someone have curious about this history. So I'm just summarizing until currently version is 1.33. So June. So I'm going to be summarizing to the so history about that. So if you're interesting, yeah, just for the purpose of that document. Yeah, here's the pack present. Policy as a code project. Present. As I said, Yeah, I don't say second. Yeah. I thought this. I already said that. The validation admission control, validation policy is already GA from that. That's 1.3. Yes, is few months ago. Yeah, last year so is released near the SecurityCons India, and currently it's a move on to the mutating. I think it is. In my guess, is the mutating will be better at the end of the 2025, or so next years, all of the next years, maybe mutating will be better. So it's gonna be this really stable. And you have this, you can be the testing the because this mutating is this alpha level. So, you know, it's only explain to the, oh, okay, that's good, that's better, but we know that our or developer and engineer or those kinds of some sort of part, technical things, we need to know about the really actual code, how it work. So it says you can very familiar because I'm using that this first screen, this page that. In here, there is already explanation or expression for the cell for the pack. Someone may feel like, oh, very familiar. Is this not some confusing point? I mean that it is already familiar is very neutral because you are already adaptive to the Kubernetes, and then you already seen that there's some spec by the YAML, so it is very similar. So here's that you can see that this right one is that the YAML was some YAML for the Nginx. When you are deployed it, then there are auto generations, those kinds of things. And the left side is already seen that there's some validation admission policies code. So you can easily figure out in here how is this in the right side. I think I can give it to the maybe it can be some enough for the 3 seconds, but I can give it to the 5 seconds because I want to be very thirsty. So 5 seconds, you can be searching that the left side and for the right side. Yes, from which one is from the right side. Yeah, I think it is everybody can figure out too that which one is the existed right side and for the left side. Yep. Yeah, by direction is okay. Yep. So object spec host network, you can see that the yellow mark is spec and the host network true. Yes, it's perfectly same. So that's the reason why you don't need to run the cell. You just using the cell. So if you know about this already know YAML's structures, you are just putting that the structure and then you are consider or you are just thinking about the Boolean, yeah, yes or no or and. You know that the or and or sort of the XOR, yeah, such as that. So you can easily to use that then what you want and then how you work. Yes. That's the reason why you don't need to sell. And people start to do demo. I want to show to another policy as a code. Yes, policy as a code is, yeah, most of them is by the cell these days. Yeah, sort of the many of the project move on. But anyhow, this authentication, you can make it like make it a token. Yes, such as the discount, and then you already use it probably our box is the authorization purpose that the right bottom side. And mutating, I already said that the alpha level, even though this, you can see that the expression part seems like it's very similar to your thought because it based on the specs set by the YAML. And validation, we already know that. And also, I'm preparing the live demo. Yes, and today this is one of the keynote is live demo, and there is something problem. But I already explained to the Ivan. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Actually, I'm not enjoyed it, but enjoyed it to the thrill live demo because, yeah, I have an experience with the suddenly stop my laptop. Just starting the 5 minutes and talk about this 20 minutes for the discussion because my laptop is corrupted. But today is not that. Yeah. In here, here's some example for YAML. Here's yeah, like this. We already seen this here. Yes, validation. And the other thing is we need to apply it like it's RBAL. So we're gonna be to make it, yeah, like it is cluster policy and apply the cluster role binding, such as very similar to the work. And then here's the simple app in here. And we have to be host network first. Here is the host network, yep. There is two part exist. One is that some existed part. The other is the no exist part. See that there is a very simple. And the other is that included some here, host network true. So we'll show live demo. Before I start, here is one of the rated version. And KA is this one of the alias for the Kubernetes controller applied as -f. So I'm going to be applied at these kinds of the policies code. After that, yes, no host network. Yeah, it can be the success to the some applied it. But if you have or, so your friends, your classmates, or not classmates, your some coworkers, your friends, yes, those kinds of very friendly friends, they are using that the host network, yeah, it can be blocks. It's just very easy to block to that. It can be easy to make it as some validation things. And the other things, I have 9 minutes, so I can show up to another one. Yes, KD is that's one of the alias purpose that. And the other is that the seconds. Is this the only applied for some demo set and deployment for some of the volumes? So I'm gonna be this applied it, and yep. Here is the host path, and there is really less of them, but I would like to show up to the no first, yes, no first is better. No host path. It probably work well, right? And yes, host path, probably it's gonna be banned, yeah, like that. It's very easy to manage this if you want to be something validation check and then do not apply it. You don't need to any installation. You're just using that over 1.30 version. Or, yeah, you can be the better version is okay, but after GA, the 1.30, so it's very easy to apply it. And last one is that, yeah, here's that we can check that it's a replicas. So is this applied it? And last one is that replicas. There is the 1 and 3. So 3 is okay because it seems like some HA concept and it can be very stable. But when you try to let this 1 replicas, yes, it is banned too. It is protected your stable system and stable. And Kubernetes and OPA Gatekeeper and other projects, they really want to be the reliable system. So these kinds of API is working same as way. And back to, slide. And last one is the future. Probably you may guess what is the futures. Yeah, because I'm already exposure that. Yeah, Kubernetes already include that the cell mechanism and for the validation purpose and mutating ongoing that. Anyhow, that's from the 1.30 version, you can use that the validation right now, I said. And something is this goes on. Yeah, I already said that. Yeah, mutating is goes on. I guess, as I said, at the end of this year or next year, it's going to be the beta, and you can use that as a really powerful some pictures for the mutating. You can beat it this something it is injecting. Yeah, it's very easy to involve that, easy to use that by the cell. And if you are interested, it is not this topic, but if you have an interest in the authentication and authorization, yeah, 2 years ago, I'm going to be introduced the key clock by the OIDC. Yes, the Kubicons, another some NA Kubicons. So it's just a reference about that. And if you more some lab or more some simulation or actual some Google Cloud, they are included the cell for the all their system. So if you are those kinds of the validation check for the more commercial purpose that, you can see that this Kubicon in India. I'm going to explain that the demo over there. You can reference is there. Yeah, so that's what I proposed that. As I said, the cell is very powerful and easy to work, and then you don't need to any kinds of installation. You can reference this one, and then first one is the already history. Second one is the demo. Yeah, demo is preparing that some another one like it is Kubernetes and then OPA Gatekeeper some demo too, because the OPA Gatekeeper and Kubernetes there are their own language plus cell support. You can be configured without configure between it. That's how it works. So please use those kinds of QR or link for your understanding further. Yeah, thank you for your listening. Yeah, even there's a very hot slide and really lots of the cool session. Yeah, thank you for listening and watching the YouTube session too. Yeah, someone is maybe watching later few days. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I think I have 4 minutes or almost 5 minutes. Can I get some question from them or? Okay. Yep. So question is okay. Yeah. Any related or other or ambassador? Yeah, I can really welcome to the ambassador. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we want to be less of those applicants. We want to be that. Oh yeah. If you're just a little bit, just a little bit nervous to the public question, I think I'm gonna be waiting in corner. Yeah, you can be this. Here, come in here, and then just ping me or just touch me, sort of the question there. Okay. Thank you.